Okay, guys, welcome to the stream. We are African Custom Knives at Virtual Blade Show. There is no Blade Show this year, and so we had to actually do something just to satisfy that little thing inside of us that needs to get around people that love sharp, pointy things. And so what we did this year is we decided, hey, if we can't go to our friends and hang out with them, go to Blade Show and hang out with our friends, we're going to bring our friends together virtually. I've got two guys, not just one, but two. The funny thing is that they're both brothers, just like me and Nolan. Me and Nolan are own African Custom Knives together. They're both brothers. And the first time that I met these guys, they were wearing skirts. Say hello to the Berkenfield bros right here.
Hello.
And Jim, how are you guys?
I'm Jim. I am doing great. I am definitely happy to see you, Nathan, as always. And, just adjusting to the new reality.
Yeah. The question is, are you wearing a skirt right now?
Unfortunately, no. No, sorry.
Y'all do that every year. We get to the Blade Show, and I didn't realize this the first year that I met you guys, but it's actually called what, a tactical kilt.
It's a
got it, man.
Oh, there's somebody. Oh, there he is, right there.
Oh, there he is.
We got you,
Nolan. You look like you're like hanging out in the backyard or something.
You know, I was weed eating. Somebody's got to do work on a Sunday.
Well, there you go. Somebody's doing it.
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
What's up, Nolan? How are you?
I'm good. How are y'all?
We're good.
Hanging in.
Yeah, miss seeing y'all at the real Blade Show.
Indeed.
Oh man, that was really, really disappointing. It was really rough to not have that happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, one of the things that, and as we kind of get into the conversation, we're going to talk about some knives. We're going to talk about collecting. But one of the things that I want to kind of start us off with, we're talking about disappointment of being at Blade Show, but I want to kind of discuss maybe some of the best things about Blade Show that it's for somebody who maybe he's never been to Blade Show, or maybe there's a maker in South Africa who's never been. What are some things about Blade Show that make it unique and make it different?
Andy?
I'll start. Yeah, I'll start with this. I think, regardless of all of the technology that now connects us across the world, across time zones, across continents, we have this incredible ability to meet people and connect with people and talk to people remotely. But there is absolutely nothing like meeting people in the flesh and meeting people in person and hearing their story and getting to know them. And that's the magic of Blade Show. It's not about, sure, you want to like hold a knife and feel what it feels like and get a sense for its action and all that stuff. But it's the connection to the makers and the people. And that's what the magic of Blade Show is. And it's why we spend every minute the show is open on the show floor and then roll immediately into the pit to connect with everybody, because that's where like all those conversations continues. And it's, like anything that is born out of passion, it's all about the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Andy and I went to our first Blade Show and we knew you guys. In fact, you guys were some of the few people, and we hadn't met you, but we knew your business and had bought a few knives, right?
What year was that?
2015.
Yeah, 2015 was our first one. Yeah. And apart from that, we just, it can be a big, overwhelming experience, Blade Show. You walk into that huge room and it's full of people from all around the world, and we kind of didn't really know what to expect. And then as the years progressed, sort of our experience and sort of goals that we set out, like, okay, what are we going to accomplish this year at Blade Show? Like, we morphed into doing some T-shirts and things like that, which we can get to or not, which is just a side thing for fun for us. But it really is like, what do we want to get? Are we buying knives? Do we just want to meet people? I want to handle this person, this maker's stuff. And for us, the evolution now has become, it's all about getting a few custom pieces delivered, and then that we've arranged the year before, and then impulse buying a few other pieces, also, and trying to discover, hoping that we discover someone new and exciting that we can establish a new relationship with, and maybe make a purchase from them, or just be able to see what they're all about. And you really can't do that anywhere else. And it's so exciting and fun. And the international aspect of it, I mean, meeting all the South African guys is,
so great.
Both formally kind of at their tables, and then with you, through you guys, at the Bri, hanging out with a more sort of social situation, having, barbecue and beers and stuff like that. It's pretty special. So.
Well, that's one of the ideas that we originally had. How do we connect, guys like you who love knives, collect knives, want to know the story behind a knife rather than just, oh, this one flips good, let me just buy this knife. No, I mean, you guys actually want to know why I support this maker, or what's behind this knife that makes it really special. One of the things that me and Nolan talk about is how do we do that? And Nolan, in all of his wisdom as my brother,
it's infinite, really.
He said, let's do something that we're good at in South Louisiana, and I know you guys are great at, because y'all, I would look at your Instagram. In fact, Jim's Instagram makes me want to go live with him. I'm just saying. I see his stuff and I think, man, he does something awesome every day. I wish I could do that. So
now, Andy's got a pool in his backyard.
That's true.
I do.
I do. I don't know whether I'd rather be sitting around that pool or fishing with Jim, but either way, I'd be good with it.
Yeah, it's pretty much an ideal day here in California today, I gotta say. Yeah, it's awesome.
Well,
But I don't have a full-on view of the Tetons, so it's all a trade-off. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Right. Well, one of the things that I want Nolan to talk about, from our perspective, which we're collectors as well, and we're friends with the makers, but we wanted a way to connect the knife makers and the collectors in an atmosphere where we're not really we can let them relax a little bit. Nolan, why don't you talk about why we started the Bri?
Yeah, so the Bri started because the South Africans are cheap and didn't want to go out to dinner, is the truth of it. But those guys said, well, we want a steak, but we don't want to go out. And it started years ago with just a few South Africans. And then whenever we started African Custom Knives, we said, you know what? It'd be cool to get people in a non-pressure atmosphere to get to know the guys. Because, you see them online, and that's the best part about the show. I mean, you can go and we'll be at the booth and somebody will walk up and introduce themselves. We're like, oh, nice to meet you. And then they're like, I'm so-and-so on Instagram. Oh, okay.
Yeah, totally.
There's no doubt.
So it's great to connect with those people in person. And that's what we wanted to bring the Bri is we wanted to say, hey, let's not make it about buying knives. Let's not make it about, dealers or knife makers or customers or anything more than, hey, let's get together and have a good time and let's get to know each other. And that's kind of what we tried to create with the Bri and just make it fun. And it grew from about 6 guys to.
I have a lot to say about the Bri.
I can't blame those guys for not wanting to spend a lot of money. When we think about the economics of coming all the way to Blade Show from South Africa, and you sell a handful of knives, it's like, yeah, I'm not surprised. So I think you guys have given them through that a really important part of the experience that's like irreplaceable. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and from a collector standpoint, Andy and I remember vividly when you guys invited us to the Bri for the first time. It was like, we're going with the guys from African Custom Knives. The South African makers are going to be there. It's going to be this casual scene. We're going to be able to hang out and actually meet them and talk. That was major.
It was a big deal. Yeah,
so
it was a big deal.
And Nolan, what you were just saying about sort of like you're so and so. I had that experience with Mike Joseph at the Bry.
Yeah.
You know, Heels with Steel on Insta.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we were just chatting, you know, had never met him before. And we're chatting, and I said, you know, who are you? What's your handle? And he told me, you know, oh, I'm Heels with Steel. And I was like, holy, you know, it was like I had, I don't know. For me, I had met a minor celebrity because I had admired his collection for a year or two previously. And now we're super good buddies. It's awesome. He and I.
Yeah.
Great.
Well,
And that's
go ahead, Nolan.
that's why we wanted to create the Bri, is to bring customers together, bring our dealer friends. I mean, we've got a lot of other dealers in the industry that we're friends with. I mean, it's not a competition thing, so we invite those guys and the makers, and we have U.S. makers that come, and just folks from all over. Just look, it's all about relationships and getting folks together, and we enjoy it, I think, as much as anybody else. You know, I spend pretty much all day that day. I leave the show at about noon and start cooking, and by the time guys get there, I've done been through plenty of cooking time, and and it's a
dude, that bacon wrapped quail, man, that's worth writing home about. That's my favorite.
I've got to eat all the quail this year by myself now.
Oh,
Hey, I'm right down the road.
Right.
Well, and another thing, and I will get into collecting in just a second, but I wanted to tell you that when we met you guys, we had a real connection, and just because, number one, you're brothers, we're brothers, and you love knives, we love knives, but one of the things that I've never really heard from you guys is how you got into collecting knives.
well,
Can y'all expound on that?
It's funny because you know, as kids, we both were sort of into knives, whether it was from like just you know, our Boy Scouts or whatever. We just got into knives, and then we sort of went our separate ways for many years, like, I don't know, 25 years. And each of us individually, secretly, were sort of amassing a small collection of knives. And one day we had a conversation about, like, hey, you know, it's weird, I have like a whole drawer full of knives, like, and we sort of came together in this moment of realizing, like, holy shit, our whole lives, you know, separate of all of the stuff we were up to, we were secretly hoarding sharp steel objects, and we had this real rekindling of our relationship as a result of it. So all of a sudden, you know, oh my God, we got to talk about knives. Like, you should see, you know, and then it was like, well, do you have a whole drawer of these kinds of things? And do you have a whole drawer? Yeah, actually, look at all this stuff. And it sort of, you know, sparked from there. I will tell you guys, I think, and the way that I've thought about what we are trying to celebrate with Forged and Thread is actually that loving knives is something you don't choose. It just is. It is bestowed on you in some genetic way, and you either have it or you don't. And when you meet people who have it, it's like, oh yeah, how's it going? I got that thing too. I've got that. And I'm just lucky that we both, you know, I feel grateful that we both have it, because now we have something to, you know, it takes up a lot of our time and energy, and we talk about it a lot.
It's difficult to explain to people who aren't into it.
Yeah,
kind of what it's all about.
They don't understand. It's like, wait, how many kitchen knives do you have? You have
it's like
kitchen knives. Like,
yeah, or you know, yeah, this pocket knife costs $500. It's like,
right,
you know, like, what do you mean a pocket knife costs $500?
How is that possible?
No, you can't touch my pocket knife. It costs $100.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
you cannot pry it. You can use my $500 pocket knife as a pry bar.
One of the cool things that
oh, we lost you, Nolan.
He'll come back. He's coming back.
One of the
I think he's just stuttering.
One of the cool things that we into that.
No, you may have to. Yeah, no, we can't really hear you. All right.
Yep. Yeah, I had to do the same.
No, that's all right. No, so one of the so y'all got started. You found out you've got a love. Each of you have a love for custom knives.
Yeah.
Who bought the first custom knife?
Well,
were you buying separately or what?
Yeah. We were buying separately, but I think the first like eye opener for me was when Andy bought a Chris Reeve knife.
Okay.
I bought this knife.
Andy bought a Chris Reeve.
This is it. Yep. This is the first important knife of the collection, which was
Andy bought a Sabenza, and that was like okay,
$375.
Wow, $375. Like, okay, this is we're like we're entering a new thing. And that was maybe a year or two before our first Blade Show. I mean, it wasn't all that long ago.
Yeah.
You know, 2013 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, things sort of snowballed a little bit, and we started, you know, picking up some knives here and there. And then after a year or so, Andy researched and found Blade Show for us. And it was like, let's go to this thing in Atlanta and see what happens.
And it was like it's right around Jim's birthday, so it was like, well, let's make it a like birthday thing. We'll go check out all these maniacs who love knives, and actually, you guys were a big part of it because this knife, this was one of my very first really important knives too. This was kind of a which I bought from you guys. This is the first one I bought from you. And it was like a watershed moment. Like, okay, I'm kind of a knife collector now. Like I have transitioned from buying, knives that you can buy anywhere. Even when I bought a Benchmade for $200, I was like, wow, that's a big deal. But it's a knife that you could buy over and over again. And this was a knife that you couldn't buy over and over again. This was a knife that was a one-off. And that idea of like a knife is a one-off thing. You guys were right there in the mix of that. That was an important transition. And now of course everything's gone to hell in a handbasket. Now it's just like we went over the waterfall.
and how many knives you before we started recording, you told me how many knives, just custom knives from African makers, not all the other ones, but just Africans. How many did you say you had?
We have 32 custom South African folders.
32.
I have 18.
And a couple fixed blades.
Probably half of them I got from you guys. And then, I don't even know what the fixed blade count is.
Yeah, I've got a few, Arno Bernard's. Hey, there's the little guy.
What's up, Peyton?
Yeah, quite a few of them are from you guys.
So we probably don't have time to go through all 32, but how about you give us an idea of maybe some of them that are your favorite? I know I saw that A2, that Andre Thorburn one that you just put up. The Chris Reeve is amazing, but give us a highlight reel of maybe some of the knives that you guys just love and maybe some of the reasons why you love them.
Yeah, well, one of the guys we love, who I think everybody probably in the world loves, is Kosi. Yeah, because he's about one of the most loving people out there. So we've bought some knives from him. I mean, my first one I got from him, I got from you guys. This one's a special one for me. Where's my camera? This guy right here.
That's a great one.
This was the first knife I bought from you guys. It's a beautiful front flipper. I'm trying to find my camera. Great materials. And, we've subsequently each bought a few knives from Kosi. I think I got this one from you guys too. I think you'll have to verify, but I believe this one was yours.
Yep.
Yeah, that's sweet.
You have a hand of Kosi's.
And then, after buying some, from you guys, we, at Blade Show, we had Kosi make us, matching ones. We've got these bronze. Andy and I have these matching ones that we got from him directly with a bronze or shred carbon fiber.
Nolan, Cozy never made us matching knives. What's the deal?
Yeah.
He made me one. I don't know what your problem is.
This is a special knife for me because this exemplifies, South African knives. It's something that Andy and I did together. We got it. We were introduced to Cozy through buying knives from you guys, but ultimately we meet him, we hug him, we chat with him every year and message him during the year and try to get him, and got him to deliver us some knives. What was that, 2 years ago, and
Yeah.
We did a similar thing last year with JD with these pinstripes. We got a pair, same sort of sequence of events. And this is a great thing. It's like, you give them, maybe a year lead time, no pressure, and say, how about Blade Show delivery? And that becomes a really fun, thing to look forward to about going to Blade Show. It's like, oh, we're going to see JD. And like, as soon as you see him, it's before the show even starts, you see him like out in the lobby or something. And suddenly you're all like on your hands and knees, rummaging through his backpack and like handing over, stacks of $100 bills and like getting the knives. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm saying that for some people who don't know, they were talking about Cozy Steenkamp, who's a good friend of ours and South African maker, and JD Van Deventer, who these are guys that mainly deal with a lot of custom orders anyway.
Yeah.
But you guys have taken it a step further by saying, look, we don't want you to make one, we want you to make two that are for me and my brother. So that's a thing that you guys share that at Blade Show. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really fun. And one of the things too about that whole dynamic, which I think is just a real credit to you two and how you always have set up your business, which is you've never tried to interfere in that relationship building with collectors and makers. And in some way of looking at it, you guys have enabled that to happen, and you haven't sort of asked for a cut or made it part of the deal. You've never, you just have been so open to building those kinds of relationships, which I've always been so grateful for. I did a custom last year with Case, right?
Yeah, yes.
To make this awesome slip joint. And I bought it at your booth and did the deal through him. But I always was so grateful about the attitude that you guys brought to the development of the makers, the relationship between the makers and the collectors. And I always felt like your broader view of like, let's just support it all and not try to establish rules or transactions or any of that stuff has been it's been awesome. And I know you guys do it naturally and it's just your way, but it's been really, really cool to see that. I will say that for me, this Heracus knife that I bought from you, I think this was actually the first knife I bought from you. I think this one was the second knife, but this one that I bought from you,
it was.
After we met you guys and finally saw your website with your really cool white background with the knives spinning around, and I was like, oh my God, I love that knife. It's so incredible. And I bought this knife from you, and it was the first time I ever bought a front flipper. And this is still a highlight of my collection. And thanks to you guys being able to meet Heracus and hang out with him at the Bri and get to know him and now follow him on Instagram. Like, I feel such a connection to him because of that. And, so it's not just a great pocket knife that I love carrying, but it's also like, this has tremendous meaning to me, like really a lot of meaning because of all of that layering of, you guys and him and the experiences we've had together and, seeing him at Blade Show. And he's such a presence in the room, like he's such a great character. And I just, that's, you can't put a price on that. I mean, that's amazing.
Well, that's one of the things we decided a long time ago was that we were going to connect these knife makers with the American market. And sometimes that looked like us just saying, hey guys, it's best for you to reach directly out to these guys. See, like, with JD and stuff, JD's gotten so popular. We don't even hardly have any knives from him on the website anymore.
Right. I know.
but we're still friends and we still thankful. And every once in a while he'll send us one just so that we can promote a new model or just so that, because we know that these guys they're not pumping out hundreds of knives. It's just going to happen. But we created our business to help promote them until they can support themselves on their own and do their own thing. And when the time comes and they want to make more knives and hey, we're there. We wanted, that's why we created our business. It's part of the reason why you guys kind of created your business, got into the business. I don't want to, kind of short circuit anything that y'all want to share about any other knives that you have on the table. I know you have like 30 or 40 or so.
The only other one that I want to say is this is where the real streams crossed, which is I bought this one actually right out of Nolan's pocket. So
what?
Yeah, this is one that he sold to me, which I just love this knife. You recognize that one?
I do recognize that one.
Yeah, I love this knife.
Yeah,
it's got such nice action, and it's a beauty. So thank you.
You're welcome. I'm glad it's
that kind of happens too. Some trading around Blade Show.
Oh yeah,
totally.
Everybody starts trading. They figure out, oh well, you have something I kind of like, and I like this, and it starts intermingling. And I know that you guys don't just collect South African makers. You started collecting some other makers, and then you started developing relationships, and then you decided to, and I don't know the whole story on how it started, but I know you decided to start Forged in Thread. Tell us a little bit how that transition happened from buying a few knives into supporting the knife community as a whole.
I mean, it came from the idea of, part of it was really sort of selfish. How could we participate in the community in a way that was beyond just being a collector? And frankly, how could we fund this rather expensive pastime between the knife buying and the traveling? Is there an idea that we could, develop that would provide some revenue for us that would allow us to support the knife community in a different way? But really, the heart of it was, the heart of the idea of the brand is to celebrate this affliction, this unexplained thing that all of us, all those 10,000 people who stand around in that giant room in Atlanta, and all the thousands of other people who don't make it there, share this kind of weird affliction. How do we celebrate that group of people through, we're not makers, right? So we don't forge knives, we don't make knives. Jim is a craftsperson in his real life. So we directly understand the commitment that it takes and the skill and talent that it takes. But we were really looking for a way to take our participation up a notch. And it just felt like it was just an idea that popped into our heads. And it was like, well, what if we started a t-shirt company to sort of, connect knife lovers? Really, it was, the sort of imagined thing was like, can you imagine if you had a shirt that like expressed something that nobody really understood, except if you ran into somebody who happened to be a knife lover, they would totally understand it, right? They would get it in a second. And people who aren't knife lovers wouldn't understand it at all. And that was kind of the crux of it, was how do we create stuff that connects these people who have this weird affliction in a different kind of way. And if it produces revenue, great. But mostly it was like, we want it to be part of the magic. So, we got this shirt on that we just did this shirt, which is
all right. So that's a new shirt, right?
Yeah. So this is called Knife Brain, and it's like, all these little things that your brain is thinking about. And, nobody who doesn't know about knives, they wouldn't have any clue what this means, right? But if you're a knife lover, you would look at it and go like, oh yeah, I know exactly what that is. So that was kind of the idea that we had for Forged in Thread. And then of course the twist on the name. We're both huge fans of Forged in Fire, the show, and it was like, oh, that would be funny if we called it Forged in Thread. Let's just be silly. So yeah, we're just having, the truth is we're just having fun, and
the pit became our most successful shirt.
Yeah.
So like the t-shirts were, the existing shirts out there were really only shirts with a brand name on them, pretty much, or a maker's name or something like that. Like Blade HQ, they do some funny kind of tongue-in-cheek stuff and shirts and things like that. And there's more now, but You know, our shirts sort of at first, like Andy was saying, were for, you know, kind of an inside joke basically for people who, you know, who are into knives. But then, you know, they didn't really have that much success. When we did a shirt with the Pit, which is the kind of social gathering in the evenings at Blade Show,
Right.
Area where that happens, then it became sort of like you know, a memento of the show for people, to say like, oh, this is sort of a destination type shirt, and that shirt became by far and away our best selling shirt.
Yeah.
And
you guys also have, you guys get this totally because the shirts that you've done like follow in that same vein, right? They're not branded shirts. They're not logo shirts. They don't say like Spyderco on them or whatever, right? There's tons of that. They're all about sort of having fun with being a crazy maniac knife lover.
Yeah, we try to have fun with the makers. We have our you know, our Bry shirts. If you don't understand Bry's, it's, you know, you have a Bry shirt. And then we had what did we do, Nolan? We did one with the
Get Hammered one.
Oh yeah, get hammered. We did that hashtag for a while where, you know, it's these guys who are forging their own steel. If you get hammered, but it also get hammered means something else in some other areas.
in some circles.
In other and then we had a viral video kind of go viral that we did in our studio, and it was about
JD.
Yeah, with JD's knife. JD. It was the Knifegasm shirt.
Yeah, right. The Knifegasm shirt. That was
like
great.
When you get a custom knife and you just get whoo, you know, that's a Knifegasm, right? That's
it is.
Nobody knows what that is outside of our little community.
Indeed.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I had a Knifegasm when I got this knife from you guys. Remember that one?
Oh yeah, that's now I have, just so you know, I have a package from Anton sitting on the desk right now.
Ooh.
And we have a few more knives from Anton that I'll probably open up maybe a little bit later today or tomorrow morning. I'll do a Monday morning mail call.
That guy's a real deal, man.
Yeah, he is. Nolan, awesome. Did you have a question, Nolan?
Yeah. So are y'all still doing the leather as well? I know last so y'all had a few leather products coming out. Are y'all still doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I should run it.
Andy's doing it.
I just did a new batch. I got a new sewing machine and I just did a new batch. So yeah, we're gonna do that for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, I
enjoy that. I use
my roll all the time.
Yeah, if you're going somewhere and you just want to bring, you know, 5, they hold 5 knives. So it's like, you know, a weekend, throw 5 knives in, roll it up, throw it in your weekend bag. And it's a nice little thing. Or to like isolate a particular, maybe a particular maker. You have like 5 knives by, you know, JD in there or whatever. And that's a nice way to use them too. But they are pretty small.
Well, where can someone get one of those if they were looking? Because a lot of guys are asking for, you know, sleeves, or they're asking for, you know, something that they can put their knives in. Where can they find that? I know you were making them. Where can
go ahead, Ann.
No, I was going to say I just finished this batch of all different ones, so we'll probably post that stuff on our Instagram and sell them as one-offs.
Directly, yeah, they're not
directly.
On the website.
Yeah, they're not on the site yet, and I think, you know, we'll kind of gauge the response that people give on them, and maybe we'll make more. We're trying to figure out I got all this different leather, and we're trying to figure out the right combinations of leather and that kind of thing. But there are some cool ones. There are definitely some cool ones. So we'll post them on our Insta, and people can check them out there.
Well, for sure, and we want to help support. I know you guys kind of partnered with Blade Show with your shirts, and you're kind of, you know, figuring out what fits and how you fit into the community. So, however we can help you guys, I know that mainly we support African knife makers, but man, we love you guys. We want to help support you too, and whatever. We can help.
Yeah, we're kind of exploring a new side of the business, and interestingly, it came from. We actually reached out to Blade Show in the winter last year to see about possibly, we were sort of toying with the idea of getting a table, and the Blade Show guys wrote back and they said, hey, there's no tables left, but we would love to do a collab project with you. So let's work on something. And actually that's this shirt. And so we did a collab with them. It was a limited edition, 100 units. We sold them out, and we're working with them on the next one.
We have 4 lined up.
Yeah, so they're interested in doing that. We would love to expand that model, and we can chat with you guys about how to do something that would be, you know, directly supportive of the African knife community. It's a super cool model because shirts are like, you know, they can be, you know, good mementos, good souvenirs, limited.
Lost him.
We lost Nolan and Andy. Oh, there you go.
Andy's back. Nolan
I'm
just
back.
wants to get a milkshake.
I got a call apparently, but anyway, so we would be psyched to talk to you guys about doing that. It turns out that maybe for us that model is going to end up being more successful and kind of a fun way to go. So yeah, we're in.
Well, this is what I want to do to kind of end the stream, you know, kind of wrap it all up and do something, you know, kind of, I want to hear maybe something that gets you excited about next year's Blade Show. Maybe you have some orders on hand, or maybe you have what's exciting about you know, that's coming up.
I don't have any orders for next year at this point. You know, as most people know, even without Blade Show, it's still relatively easy to buy knives. So.
Well, it's hard to get. I would say this: we're getting our first shipments in. That look, shipments from Africa. If you're wanting an African knife, shipments from Africa haven't been coming in up until about less than a month ago because they were even their lockdown and everything. So if you're getting, and I know you guys like French knives.
Yeah, we do.
We actually had somebody make a comment on here say French knife makers are okay too because they probably seen your Forged in Thread Instagram. There's a lot of French guys.
No, we're big into French knives too.
But I think we're in
French.
all knives, but it's been tough to get out of the country.
Yeah.
But yes, I think it's going to be loosening up and over the next few months. But is there anything out there that you're like, man, this is a grail, something that I'm going for?
Well, you know, in terms of knives, I think I'm a little far away from knowing what is going to be the thing that I'm going to be super fired up about. What I can tell you is there's this guy whose name is Warren Wall out of Utah who is making some just beautiful fixed blade knives and kitchen knives who we've been very excited about. So I'm super psyched about hopefully if he comes, meeting him and we bought some knives recently from him. So that's one, you know,
Orchard Forge is his
it's
Orchard Forge.
Orchard Forge.
Nice guy, really nice.
In the vein of it's all about the people, I'm really excited to meet him because we haven't met him in person yet. But I will tell you guys, the real thing is for us, we spent a whole lot of time developing a follow-up Pit t-shirt using the 2020. You know, it was like 2020 is perfect for design because it's like 2020, and we had this great logo and this whole thing. We were so excited about the Pit 2.0, like we were so excited, and of course the whole thing went in the trash. So trying to figure out what we're going to do next year to sort of acknowledge the fact that we had a skipped year and you know, that everybody, you know, all these 10,000 people, I mean, people are going to be pent up with it, you know, I mean, the energy level is going to be at 11. People are going to be absolutely bonkers excited to be there. And how do we kind of
knife
celebrate that and participate in that? It is going to be knifegasm. Yeah, it's going to be a big deal. So we're thinking a little bit about that already. How do we sort of celebrate
we need to redo that knifegasm shirt to fit 2021 maybe.
Yeah. Nathan, I think though, I mean, really to answer your question though, I think more than ever, it'll be just about reconnecting with the people.
Yes.
At 2021, you know, knives. Yes, we're definitely going to buy some knives.
I lost you.
Oh, you lost me?
No, I got you.
Lost
okay. You know, the knives will come, but it's really about, you know, not seeing all these people who we, you know, have all these great relationships with, and we haven't seen them now for 2 years, and that's going to be the most fun.
Well, I know that we are thankful to have made friends with you guys. Nolan, is there anything you want to say before I round us out?
Yeah, I just want to say you did. I don't know if you gave everybody their Instagram follows, but they each have a personal Instagram. Jim makes some awesome stuff. He made this for me.
Hey, look at that.
So
Cool.
let's see if you can see it there. So I just walked into my kitchen and grab it. I love it. It's
cool.
awesome. Use it often, but check his Instagram out as well as Andy. They both have a personal Instagram, but Fortune Thread, they both post. They're kind of like Nathan and I do for African Custom Knives. You don't know who you're talking to until you actually find out. So yeah, both of those guys put here. So guys, cool. I can't wait to see you again and hang out again.
Yeah, you too. I think we might have lost Andy.
Well, that's all right. I'm wrapping up anyway. Hopefully he can get back in so he can hear what I had to say. If not, he'll have to watch this a little bit later. But I want to tell you guys, thank you guys. I appreciate you so much. It's not just about knives. Yes, you bought a few knives from us. Sure. Yes, we've hung out, but what's important about it is that now we have a relationship that kind of spans all of that. And that's where we want to kind of go. Here, let me add Andy back to the screen. And you're here now.
I'm here.
I was just telling
you. Won't believe what he just said.
I know. I'm sure.
He was flashing you big time.
I'll watch it back later.
But what I am looking forward to is I'm looking forward to you guys hosting us whenever we do Blade Show West.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, so, I was going to mention that there are other shows that we're always toying with the idea of attending, and for us, the Atlanta show is the most convenient in terms of scheduling and sort of accomplishing what we want to accomplish, and it's the show that we have a history with now that we really look forward to. But we were actually rebooked for Blade Show West this year after the original Blade Show dates were canceled.
Right.
And we've thought about the Las Vegas shows and some of the other shows too, but for us, the Atlanta show is the one. So
yeah, I would be really psyched about Blade Show West because I know it's only a couple of years old and people seem excited about it. So well, I don't know. We'll see.
Well, thank you guys for popping on. I appreciate y'all so much. Looking forward to seeing y'all. Me and Nolan may even get some skirts. Who knows?
Check it out.
Tactical skirts.
I want to see those legs, you guys. Let's see those legs.
You don't want to see Nathan's legs.
Yeah, you do. I've been working out, trimming up, making sure I have nice and smooth.
Yeah, there you go.
You don't want to see
one-legged kettlebell reverse lunges.
That's it. All right. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us for a little bit. And we will the next shirt that comes out, contact us. We'll do another live and y'all tell us all about it.
That sounds great. Hey, you guys, thanks for doing this. This was really fun.
Sunday. Yeah.
Great to see you.
Take care.
See ya.